was half of our territory, and 40% of the Danish inhabitants became German citizens, and that was a blow that was actually quite hard to survive. And it made Denmark turn inward. It became a very introvert country, trying to save the little that was left. And what interested me so much about the people from Marstal was that they did exactly the opposite. This little place on a little remote island in a forgotten corner of the Baltic discovered in these same years that there was something called the world market, the emerging world market. And what they then did was to see that they had a telegraph station in Marstal. They did it themselves, nobody helped them. And that was, I mean, the equivalent of the internet. And that meant that all of a sudden they were connected to the whole world. And instead of sailing around on the coast surrounding their little island, all of a sudden they sailed on the Seven Seas with their cargo. They went everywhere. And so they became witnesses, but also sometimes perpetrators. They became witnesses of colonialism, of world wars. They were part of it. They became not so much part of Danish history as they became part of world history. And you could in Marstal, there's one very sinister character in the book who spent most of his years as an active sailor or as a working man, as a pilot on the Congo River in the worst years, where
who is the son, you might as well
say, of the horrible teacher.
Yes,
and who has of course been abused and
so he's
horrible things have been.
reenacting.
Yes,
Like
somehow what his father did to him, he's now reenacting on the whole of Africa. I was inspired by a little item I found in the museum of Sailors Museum of Marstal, where there's a bracelet, and there's a little sign saying, "This bracelet was taken from a dead Negro woman," and it leaves no doubt that probably her hand was chopped off before it was taken, as was the habit of the